Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Can everyone hear me? See the Bitcoin chart, hear the music, volume's okay. Awesome. So as always, gonna wait a bit for some people. Actually, I should learn how to set up the stream in advance, but I had some problems with it. But anyways, let's just wait like a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. So how's everyone doing? Everyone holding up well in the markets? We've had some nice moves, to be honest. I can imagine for a lot of people it's pure chop. But if you're trading based on key highs and lows and on liquidity, based on liquidity, we've seen some pretty nice moves on the 4-hour that were really nice to trade. So we'll go over them, my past trades, the trades I'm in at the moment, and my game plans for the coming days to maybe even weeks, you know. So yeah, Paul gonna speak any dump soon. Oh, I didn't know. Well, maybe, let's see. You've been calling these levels almost perfect. Yeah, I mean, we're on a good run lately. It's going well, the trading. I mean, it's also because I just shifted mindset. Like I was also in like that mindset of only longs, you know, because blah blah blah, it's a bull market. So I was mainly focusing on looking for longs on altcoins, and now I kind of just stepped away from it and or at least put it on pause until things look better again. And now I'm just trading Bitcoin level to level, and it's been going great. So yeah, I hope you liked the running advice this morning. Yeah, man. New goal for me. All right, 50 people already. That's nice. I'm down hard on Nero. Yeah, man, that's part of the game, you know. If you're down hard, you probably put in more than you could afford to lose. Even if you're listening to someone, manage your risk, you know. Why would you go all in? Doesn't make sense. Soul chart would be interesting. I will. We'll start with Bitcoin and we'll try to do some requests as well today. So, are you trading meme coins? Yeah, I was. I'm not anymore. At least at the moment. If they're running hot again, I might try again. But overall, I've just lost money on meme coins. I was up big on Bird and like caught a couple 2x's, but you know, then you take your profit out. I mean, you take your profit out, and then you put the rest in something else that goes to zero. So like, yeah, kind of stepped away from it for now. The last, I think, 3 meme coins I bought literally went to zero, so so yeah, mainly focusing on my trading again for now. And honestly, I'm not even mad that like meme coins could be done, like because it's a mess, you know. It's just bring back peace, you know. Bring back the normal trading days where people yeah, actually use their skills in order to have an edge in the market and to trade the charts both ways. But anyways, all right, 60 people, amazing. Let's get started. So welcome all to another live stream. I'm gonna start by covering Bitcoin, giving my thoughts, game plans. Then we'll do some altcoins and do some requests. But before we get into the charts, quick shout out to the sponsor of the live streams, which is Blowfin. It's a non-KYC exchange where you can trade all kinds of altcoins and of course Bitcoin. There's a link in the description which you can use that gives you a nice deposit bonus depending on how much you deposit. So check it out in the description. If you use that link, you can also join my Discord for free, where I post all of my trades live and just post more videos and more analysis. So go ahead and check it out in the description. Make an account and make a deposit in order for you to be able to join. All right. With that being said, oh yeah, one more thing. Please leave a like on the stream. That takes 1 second. Doesn't cost you anything, but helps me a lot. And subscribe, okay? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going for 10k subs. So if you could all do those two things, that would be much appreciated. Okay, now with that being said, let's dive into the Bitcoin charts, okay? So from last week, right, what happened? Let's once again start on a clean chart. And go to the weekly. So yeah, last week we had that big downside move, right, into range lows here, which got bought up. And then initially the weekly candle was looking very good, was looking green, like big wick to the downside. But then at the end of the week we saw some downside again, which is why we closed the weekly Bitcoin candle red anyways, right? From there, what has been my plan, right? As I always say, what I like using when you have a move like this and then a bounce, if you're bullish overall and you want to be looking for longs, which tool do you use? Well, that will be OTE. From the low to the high, draw out your OTE. And as you can see, yeah, from here, beautiful sweep and a pretty damn good bounce. We'll get into that later, but overall, where was I looking for longs? Into this OTE area, okay? As always, don't focus on only one tool, right? So you don't just blindly buy into OTE or blindly sell into a bearish OTE. No, you want to look for levels. You want to look for key lows, key highs that rest right above or below the OTE area. Line it up with demand, and if all those things align, that's when you got yourself a high probability trade ID, okay? And that's what I had here. So when we were trading down here at these two lows, let's mark it out like this. So you see, when we were trading here, what was my game plan? I need to see that I explain it right, because I don't remember exactly. Yeah, it was here. What was my game plan, right? I wanted to see a sweep of these two lows into OTE, right? And that's where I would look for longs with a validation below OTE and a target. First target these highs, second target up here, third target up there, right? So let's see what we got, right? We got the sweep, slightly front trend OTE, but I had an order of half risk down here, and then I had multiple orders all the way down here, which were altogether half risk as well. So I got a nice fill here for half risk, and even some of the others, but not too many. And we ended up going for our first target, right? So I took off half up here, and then when we saw the snapback, it was here, when we saw the snapback and the 4-hour candle, sorry, as you can see, the 4-hour candle looking really ugly at that moment, right? That was my signal to get out. So I fully closed the longs that I had from here, closed half as I said at the highs, so that was beautiful, and then closed the other half when the hourly candle snapped back down. Always when you get that, right? So first important thing is that we swept these lows, so the next draw on liquidity was towards the opposite side of these two lows, which were these two equal highs, right? So that was immediately your main target, and of course that's your low time frame analysis, but if your target on the high time frame is far beyond that, you still want to look for the reaction at this low time frame key liquidity area. If we would have done this and started ranging here for a bit and then saw another higher high, the chances of us pumping through would have increased way more, or would have been way more greater. But that's not what we got. Instead, we took liquidity above these highs, snapped back down, closed ugly. So that was my signal to get out. By the way, might look like hindsight to all of you guys, but I've posted all of this live on Twitter and on Discord. So if you don't believe me, go check it out. I'm just going over the trades that I took and explaining them the best I can. So if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to ask in the chat. You know, so that was my first long. Then the question was, what's the new plan? You know, well, let's remove all of this again. Boom. So what did we know when we were out of that trade? Well, liquidity here, liquidity above these highs had been taken with this sweep. So where would the next liquidity be resting? Well, towards the lows again, especially because, like I said, we actually slightly front ran the OTE area. So another move down here into lower demand wasn't out of the how do you say it, could still happen, you know. So the next draw was on this low. So what was my plan there? Well, simply wait and look for longs again if we sweep the lows again into OTE. And what did we do? Yeah, let's mark it out like this. Boom. And then I'm not sure where my initial long was at, but I'm still in that one. So it's right here. Open this in the weekend. Right? What was the thought process behind this? Right? We did sweep the low right here. This low got swept on this move, but barely. As you can see, it did wick below, but it barely did, right? So what were we thinking? Like, we got some upside from that and then saw some chop here at range lows. But then when I saw this lower time frame price action, you know, that told me maybe we front run these lows and move up from here instead, you know. Maybe even for a weekend move, I'd be aggressive with profit taking towards here as my first target, then up here, or what was it? No, up here, range highs, and then up here, and maybe even towards the high up here. So what did I do? Like, kind of mixed feelings, because the low did get swept, but barely. So I took it half risk from here and had more orders down below here to add to full risk. Okay, so initially some upsides, right? Price traded, my trade was a nice profit, then came all the way back down again. Nothing changed for me, right? There probably was still a draw on liquidity to the downside, and untapped OTE, untapped demand resting down here, right? So I could still see the move to the downside, but I knew that this trade ID was based on the sweep of liquidity into OTE with an invalidation if we break below it, right? That's why I kept my invalidation there. And so yeah, that order got hit. We wicked below, good reaction, reclaim, right? And then started moving higher again. And then from this morning, so let's actually mark out our Monday range as well. Although Monday low will be disappointing if we're gonna target that. Monday high, Monday low. Let's go to the hourly. So that's our Monday range, right? So what was I thinking this morning, right? We took out Monday high. We were stalling at these highs. Things weren't looking too hot. So I decided to take off half again, posted it on Twitter. And not only because of that, but also because of the way we grinded. Let me remove this long position, right? Not only because we swept Monday high, but also because of the way that we moved into Monday high, right? Grinded up here, right? Swept, liquidity was resting below all of these lows with a bit of inefficiency right here, right? And yeah, however you want to call it, this price action, this ugly price action is what led, right? Was the sweep into OTE that led to a break in market structure. So in my opinion, there was a high chance that we would in fact go for, oh yeah, and there was something else, that we would in fact go for liquidity below here. And of course, as I explained this morning, we had the flat daily bottom, right? What's a flat daily bottom? For example, this one right here. So whenever the daily candle closes and price instantly runs away from the open price, you have no wick to the downside. And it's just proven that that is super rare. So of course here we left it, but for me there's two options when it comes to a flat daily bottom or a flat daily top. Either you're gonna see that price moves towards key liquidity, starts stalling, and then that's a great high probability play towards the flat bottom, or you're gonna see that price is just gonna run away from it as quick as possible, close strong, and is not gonna come back. Okay, so in this case, where was the flat daily bottom? I think it was this one. Yeah, right? So as you can see, the flat bottom was right there. It wasn't looking healthy. We swept the previous day high, so liquidity to the upside got taken, which is of course Monday high. So high probability that we would have seen a sweep lower. At that point, I also said that while we are at the daily flat bottom here, I wouldn't be surprised to see us move a little bit lower to take out liquidity below these lows into, as I said, demand down here, demand right here, the ugly price action that ultimately led to this upside. Okay, so that's sort of what my thought process was about this. Is that clear for everyone, or are there any questions yet? If not, I'll continue with what I'm thinking next. 90 people watching, that's amazing. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. That helps me a lot. Where did you learn? No. Yeah, it's like a mix, I would say, of what I learned from different people, and then most of the things I use now is things that worked for me, you know. Now we've taken out the flat bottom. You think we go for Monday low? Well, let me continue now with the plans that I see right now. So we're still in the long, right? So we took off half on the Monday high sweep. Was actually right here that we took it off. And then added back on the sweep here. So I'm in with full risk again now. Why? Well, let me explain. So the daily, in my opinion, is not looking too bad, okay? We came down again and then saw all of these ugly daily candles, which we can also call inside bars. What does an inside bar mean? That's whenever price keeps closing within two boundaries. And what were those two boundaries? Right here. Yeah, if you take the upper boundary, it was this one, and the lower, it was this one. But as you can see, very small daily body candles and pretty long wicks. Initially, liquidity on this daily on these daily candles was first taken to the upside, right above here, but then taken to the downside on this move, right? And because of us ranging down here, and the latest liquidity on the daily that we took was to the downside, is the reason that I think that the next liquidity that we're gonna take will be to the upside. Exact same thing on the weekly. The last major weekly liquidity that we've taken, what was the last big weekly squeeze to the downside, right? So where is weekly liquidity gonna be resting? In my opinion, still to the upside, okay? Where? Well, then we're gonna zoom out again, zoom in again, and mark some levels on the daily chart. So let's start fresh again because it's getting a little messy. Yeah, let's go like this. So on the daily, liquidity to the downside taken right there. So where is daily liquidity now gonna be resting? Well, in my opinion, above here, right? 4 hour. Yeah, let's take it back now. Low swept into OTE, right? Local liquidity on this 4 hour move has now also been taken on this move right there into the demand area that led to this up move, break in market structure. So in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if it does this, possibly dips a little lower, right? I'm not saying long right here with your stops below these lows, but in my opinion, this sets up for a move towards 100k plus before a move below 92 or $93,000. Okay, so is Monday low next? I mean, mixed feelings, because I could also see us dip back into OTE again. But if we do so, I think we'll just get the same bounce over and over again. I don't feel like, right, if you take a look at it on a weekly, this area won't be an easy break, you know. This will be your resistance, well, just approximately, you know. And this area will be your weekly support area. And if you take a look at it, right, I could see us dip in here, could see us do this, boom, but breaking down sub here, that's not gonna be easy, you know. Bulls gonna wanna defend this area multiple times. And in my opinion, stopping people out that put their stops below here would be enough. So do I think that Monday low is next or that this high is next? Well, honestly, I have no clue. But do I need to know? No, because my idea is simply that I think that even Monday high and this high is coming before breaking below these lows. So that's also I got some people in I got some people in my comments, right, when I posted this this trade, that said, what is this risk reward, you know? I would take a high probability long or short setup with a one, even with a 1R anytime, over a low probability but high R setup. You know, it's not only about the risk reward, it's about combining the risk to reward with the probability and your hit rate, you know. And this is how I've been trading for years, and yeah, how I'll most likely continue to do so. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, you know. So is Monday low next? Maybe. Are these highs next? Maybe, you know. The only thing that I know is if we now go for the highs first, that you need to be cautious, more cautious, because you have an unswept Monday low, right? And if you go for the lows first, that you could maybe be targeting a little bit higher, because liquidity to the downside has been taken. It's always about which side of the market got swept the most. And that's how I see it, at least. So Monday low first, right? And then higher, right? I'd feel more comfortable in longs, and I might even add a bit to lower my entry and to maximize my my risk to rewards and target a bit higher. Are we going for the highs first, right? And maybe we move higher from here and do this and snap back down, for example. Where would the draw on liquidity then be? Well, maybe back towards these lows, you see. So for now, my plan is just holding this long. If we move lower first, right, look for that sweep, boom, look for the reclaim. If you're not long yet, like I'm already long, for me it's still the same trades. I could have taken all off here and now waited for Monday low, but like I said, I'm not sure we're gonna get it, and I wouldn't feel comfortable into longing full size here, because where would your stop here then be, right? Then your stop, I would only feel safe with a stop at the same place where I put it right now, and then the target, yeah, somewhere up here. That's not even 1R, so that's not a good setup, you know. So if you're not in any position right now, I would either wait for the sweep of Monday low or wait for higher and look for weakness to short. Or a confirmation play above Monday high could also be a nice thing. If we reclaim Monday high, look for a play from there, then your invalidation becomes these lows, and then you still target up here. Right? Makes sense? Any questions? How do you place SL and decide whether the trade is invalidated? Like I said, I most of the time I never place my stop loss below a low or above a high. I will always place my stop below an area, you know, and that also gives you more time to review your trade and to decide whether you're right or wrong. Like for example here, the idea is that OTE area and this demand area needs to hold for me in order for us to move towards new highs. So that means if we are going back to these lows, what do I want to see? I want to see if we move right below Monday low, I want to see a quick snapback above and a quick reclaim. A close below is fine as long as we smash back above in the next candle, like we saw right here. But staying down here and then seeing some ranging is more likely that we're just gonna go for the low. So if we close down here and we stay down here, I will likely already close my long, you know, because probability and the idea has sort of been invalidated already. So yeah, that's how I see stop losses. $12-hour candle, flat top. Yeah, indeed. Daily has a higher probability of snapping back to flat tops and flat bottoms than the 12-hour, but it's still a good sign. That means on the 4-hour as well, you know, as you can see. So good chance that we at least wick back above it, right? If we were to go for Monday low, I wouldn't be surprised to see a trap, right, where we do this, sweep this flat top back into Monday high, maybe even sweep there, and then break back down, and then go for Monday low. Can you show me your fibs? Yeah. Do you trade Forex? I used to, but not anymore. Thanks, David. This range is super boring. Reminds me of conditions I learned in. Yeah, I mean, if everything runs higher, you know, it's way more exciting, you know, and yeah, you can of course make way more profit if everything runs higher, but that's just not how things are. And in my opinion, it will only get worse. Do you live in Europe? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's so yeah, I think we covered Bitcoin enough, you know. So I'm just chilling in longs, could see lower, but I want this OTE area to hold. I personally don't think we break down below here yet. I think we have untapped shit up here. So even if we were to break lower, it would make more sense, in my opinion, to do something like this and then do this. But yeah, could be wrong as always. Sol, someone asked. So let's see. Yeah, a thing I don't like on Sol is that we swept this all-time high. Very ugly. And then your weekly range we're trading in at the moment would be this one and this one, right? Daily, yep. Let's mark that out with a clean range. Like this. See how beautiful the mid-range pivotal, perfectly pivotal here as well, and then resistance. So that immediately gives you your first plan, you know. If you break above on the higher time frame, on the daily, buy the retests and target range high. And then what most people will do is they won't sell at range high, they will hold because they getting excited, and everyone on Twitter will be calling for new highs, right? And then, but it is resistance, it's liquidity above here, it's supply, and then maybe back towards range mean. If you get back above here, then then the resistance has become weaker, so then it makes more sense to hold longs for a move higher. But until then, right, if you break back down from here, it's ugly, and back to range lows, and same thing down here. If you test range lows again, more chances of us breaking down. Do I see that happening? Not yet. I think everything just keeps ranging for longer for now. And even, like I said in the previous stream, I don't think the bull market is over. I just think that everything is ranging at the moment, and especially Bitcoin. And that we're gonna do so for a couple more months. And then towards Q4 of this year, maybe, we'll see a breakout again, right? And then we're gonna get a couple of nice months again. But you know, nobody knows. So trade the range, and if it breaks out, then you know it has broken out. It doesn't make sense to always hold your longs in anticipation for a range to break. At least take some off. Do you trade any other coins? Yes, of course. How do you manage the Asia session? I don't. You use limit orders, or you go with the flow, and why it stops when you wake up? Yeah, I mean, I just have my plan. I have my invalidation and my target, and when I hold trades overnight, I just set my stop is there, you know, to protect me, and my limits are there as well. But overall, Asia session sucks, you know. So overall, you think we test 85k after tapping 100k? No, that's not what I said. I said we're ranging. I said if we are about to break down, and if we do break down, that I think it will not be from here. That I think we will first trap more people up here and then see the downside. But do I think this is going to happen? I have no clue, you know. I'm just trading the range. Let's look at Sui. Yeah, not looking too bad, but not looking too hot. You know, ran all the way up. Now clearly has broken structure. So the highs up here. Swept some lows down here. Mid-range maybe. But yeah, I don't like using a range like this. Let's see. Yeah, it's still pivotal, as you can see. But daily not looking too hot. Just swept some highs. Yeah. If you want to target new all-time highs, you'll need to get above here, right? Supply area, the sideways price action that led to all of this downside. So that's where people were accumulating shorts, and key high resting right below it. So if you do something like this and break down again, that's an easy short in my opinion, with invalidation above there. For now, yeah, middle of nowhere. I wouldn't feel comfortable longing here because it bumped into resistance, no wick to the downside, so inefficient here. But yeah, shorting, I think I'd rather short this than long this, to be honest. You see, this is also where liquidity was taken, so that's a clean invalidation. Local liquidity here, and local supply here taken. Shorts, target down here, 1.6R. Yeah, this could work. this could work. But still, will depend on Bitcoin, you know. If Bitcoin pulls a move to the highs, this will likely squeeze higher and immediately stop you out. But still a good setup, valid setup in my opinion. Would it be better that you closed your positions on Monday high and reopen again now? Not really, because what if we kept going up, you know? That was also a possibility, so that's why I just took off half. Yeah, I am from Belgium. Please take a look at Nero and tell me I'm not completely fucked. Let's see. Oof. I mean, in that case, I'm just not gonna say anything, I guess. Because this kind of looks fucked. Which is the right one? You have one on ETH and one on Sol, right? What the fuck? Yeah, it's this one, I guess. I mean, yeah. Why would you buy into this, right? For a trade, okay, but for spots to hold to all-time highs, like, no. If you get this flat top, I'd say that's a good trade towards the low. But I'm not sure you're even gonna get it. Let's see. Litecoin, yeah, that's a good one. Because I bought spot Litecoin. What's this? We talked about Litecoin in the last stream, right? Trading view is slow again. Okay. Actually, it's yeah, this one. So, Litecoin. Yeah, I mean, from a weekly perspective, obviously nothing changed compared to last week, right? As I said last week, I bought spot Litecoin up here because, right, we broke out of weekly accumulation on this move, right? Then initially ugly reaction because we traded back inside the range, right? So then this could have been seen as a deviation, which sent us back to the lows, but right, some ugly ranging on top of this, and then strong reaction. So what I thought was going to happen there was continuation to the upside, right? Was wrong, obviously. I was long on Litecoin, but managed to get out of that at break even, but also bought spot, instantly down pretty big on my spot backs, but just held, right? Because the trade idea was still valid, you know. And what did we do? We ended up sweeping range low and seeing a strong reaction to the upside. So now it's even looking better, in my opinion, than how it looked before, because we swept weekly liquidity into that area and got bought up aggressively. So keep your eyes on Litecoin, because this could be a mover just like XRP that's just gonna go out of nowhere, and if that happens, you want to be in. So I'll actually take a look on the lower time frames, because what do you use the high time frames for? Yeah, to see if there's a potential of a big move happening, and in my opinion there definitely is here. And what do you use the low time frames for? Well, to look for an entry on the low time frame, and to look for, yeah, the best entry with the cleanest and closest invalidation to maximize your rewards, right? So what would that be for Litecoin here? We got the sweep, then some ranging, and then broke out here. Are we gonna do this and straight up run? Well, in that case, you just want to long here. Obviously, you don't know, right? You can always be wrong. But if you want to be the safest you can be, right, is with a stop below this range low, right? If you mark out this range with a clean range high and range low, right? You got your range high, you got your range low. Range low got swept, and as you can see, you broke above your range mean, and that's usually your signal that a big move and a breakout of the range is coming. If that happens, where is always gonna be your invalidation on that ID gonna be? Well, at range low. So that would be right there. Target weekly range mean, but ultimately, let's see on the weekly. Yeah, I'd ultimately target this, to be honest. $300. And as you can see, even with this wide of a stop on the lower time frames, it's still almost a 5R because of the ID on the weekly. Now, that's it for a swing trade. You could also just look for a breakout play, because where's local liquidity resting on Litecoin? Well, towards here, 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 and then if it doesn't snap back down into the range, right, it'll run a little bit more, and you could just ultimately target this weekly range mean, right? But then you want to be most out of the trade above range high, and for a trade like that, well, you need a way closer invalidation, because if you take the same trade, right, and your target is there, okay, it's 1.5R, but you're gonna want to be most out of the trade on these highs, right? And that's just not worth it. So trading stops, I'd say at least below here, but maybe you just wait for some ranging, a retest of there, right? Maybe another sweep in there, then you have a sweep into demand of a low, invalidation right below the low, and target range highs. Or you just wait for a retest of range mean, buy there, and put your stop below this low time frame consolidation that led to this breakout. And as you can see, then you're gonna have a way better risk rewards, even if it's just towards range highs. And even then you can hold some, right? If it breaks out, you can always hold like 10% for a swing move way higher, right? What would invalidate all of this? Well, I could see downside from here in here, and I could even see us do something like this, where we wick below this liquidity again. But as long as we hold above here, I'm feeling like Litecoin is gonna do some nice moves to the upside. If not, then you break below here. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? Then it's dead, you know. Right? Clear for everyone? New subscriber would appreciate if you would take time to chart. Gus seems to be in a low time frame range here. Thanks for subscribing. Let's take a look. seems like I've charted it before. It's also in a bigger range, basically. What I don't like is this close though, right? Because you had, and then blah, ugly close. So what I would wait for here is just a break back above here on the weekly. Get back above here, buy the retest, and sell the highs. Until then, it's probably just gonna do ugly shit down here and range a lot. Can you share how much you started your trading journey with? couple $100, something like that. Expected peak timing and price target for this Bitcoin bull run. Yeah, that's a difficult one. I mean, time-wise, I'll mostly focus on the cycles, which we see every 4 years, and also mostly on liquidity cycles, and that would mean that we should be good until the end of this year. So for sure, by that time, I will be lowering my exposure, and more importantly, shift from up only. Well, I already did. But I think that we're still gonna have one more run. But on that run, I think it will be time to reduce again risk. Where, honestly, no clue. But I think if we make it to 150k or something, that we may be very happy. So yeah. What you can always do for targets is go on the high time frame charts and then mark out levels. Like this, for example. And then project them. Multiple times on each other, and then what would be a nice target, 122k, after that 177, you know. But there's different ways to do it also. Yeah, Fibonacci, like I used this one for a target on my spot bags this time. As you can see, from the high to the low, where's your target? On the monthly, the 1.618 level, and look at where we stalled, right at that level. So right above 100k was my target for those spot bags that I added from here, and that played out beautifully. So where's the next target? Maybe here, 123, somewhere around there. I think we may be happy with that, to be honest. All right, let's do thoughts on birds. Yeah, that's just a meme coin like every other meme, you know. Everything's down the last couple of weeks. Nothing to do about it, I guess. Just trade them both ways, man. And meme coins play with like 5% of your portfolio in memes, and if you have a lucky runner, yeah, then it's okay. And it's just fun, you know, to get involved in that. Well, not anymore for me. It used to be fun. Now they're just all going to shit. So yeah, more, in my opinion, you should focus more on utility coins, and dino coins, maybe even. Let's see XRP. That one swept all lows as well on the weekly and the monthly. Yeah, but same thing. Yeah, see how ugly? That concerns me, to be honest, for Bitcoin as well. Some ugly candles on the daily. Even if it does this, still likely revisits this low, and at that point here, down here as well. But yeah, XRP has been the one of the stronger ones, so who knows. ENA. Let's see. Yeah, I've drawn this up. I have been watching this one, but it's just been going down only. But I was watching this this daily / weekly demand area, right? The sideways price action that led to all of this came all the way back down in here. Key low resting there. So wanted to see a sweep. And I think I'm pretty confident that we're gonna build up some sort of a range down here, right? Something like this, and then hopefully break out again and move higher. But the area that it's coming into is definitely an interesting area, and I think could be a great spot buy for the future. I'm not gonna do Altcoin. Let's keep it to Bybit altcoins, no meme coins. But actually gonna hop off soon here. Chainlink. I haven't looked at that one in ages. So let's end with Chainlink. I see, same thing. It's not looking bad. It swept all of these lows, but just expecting more ranging. Interesting area it came in. But daily, once again, swept some highs, unswept lows. So could see lower first here. Maybe, yeah, this one looks quite good here. So maybe like this and then up towards these highs. What would that mean here? Yeah, see? Where's that daily? Daily low. Yeah, just needed a tiny bit lower and then reclaim. Then I'd feel more comfortable targeting these highs. But this is a clean chart actually. Good to keep an eye on this. But yeah, for swing targets, like, once again, you just need to get above the weekly supply right here. Big rejection here. So if you get above there, then we can start talking about new swing targets. But until then, it's just in a range from here to here. And you should assume that it's gonna do this. All right. I hope you all enjoyed. This will be the end for this one. Big thanks to Blowfin for sponsoring. If you want to join my Discord where I post more videos, thoughts, analysis, and all of my trades live, use that link in the description. It's a non-KYC exchange. And make a deposit and send me a DM on Discord. Leave a like, by the way. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you get notified when I go live next. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.